Holla at your boy Bobby Ramos. Miss Eve James in the building. Hey, Miss Eve. Miss Eve, Miss Eve, Miss Eve. Now you know Holla is trying to be good. Holla's trying to be good. You got to stop posting those pictures. 2020 twin, what's going on? So y'all see what's going on, man. Just came across my timeline. Tasha K off the chain. Tasha K is off the chain. Now they saying Kevin Hart supposed to be suing Tasha K. I don't even think she paid Cardi B for my. Let me stop. But salute to Miss Eve James. Salute, appreciate the love. So Tasha K, Kevin Hart. I covered that thing with Will Smith, with old Will Smith. I don't know if it was his bodyguard or old boy was sus. Now, listen, man, I'm not too good at this, talking about, stuff like this. But, people want to see this shit, hear it. So, excuse my language. But, yeah, I was kind of uncomfortable, sometimes I'm just kind of uncomfortable talking about, other men, especially when it comes to, homosexual activity and stuff like that. I don't think that's none of my business. I don't really care. Doesn't make me no never mind. But people like to hear stuff like that. But I don't know. Tasha K off the chain. I don't know if she paid Cardi B, but she about to have another lawsuit. And Kevin Hart lawyers is different from Cardi B. Now I don't know if this is a fight she want to take on right now, because Kevin Hart is a different animal. Kevin Hart is a different animal. Jessica, salute. But is this the beginning of the end? Because Angel, salute. Other celebrities and other YouTubers and all that might start following suit. Because there's a lot of slander, defamation. There's a lot of things going on here, and people wasn't taking legal matters into their own hands. But so people done been going crazy on here. But I tell people, listen, if you on here, creating a brand, if you on here trying to build up your business and stuff like that, and people with slandering, defamation, that this is how you handle it. Some people on here want to handle it, take street justice, justice into their own hands. Depending on what you on here for, is cool. But if you on here building your brand, you got your business and all that on here, and somebody on here trying to slander, defamate your character, that's messing up your money, to feed your family. Only facts, salute. So some people get on here and they confuse this with the streets. This ain't the streets. In the streets, we can handle this, we can handle it like on some street stuff, but on here you can't handle it like that. This is social media. Some of these people you'll never meet in person. So people try to apply street rules to social media. But you can't apply social media rules to the street. So why would you try to? So at the end of the day, if somebody is slandering you online, your business, your likeness, your character, if anybody is stealing your intellectual properties and all of that, it ain't nothing wrong with taking legal matters. Some people are, you're snitching and all that type of snitching. So now you telling me if you standing outside of somebody's business and you spray painting on the business, or you going in and you talking crazy to the store owner, and they call the authorities, that's snitching. Y'all make it difficult for people who's trying to get out the streets. I just had I was just had a live yesterday talking about BG. You know, they was saying he took the stand, he's a snitch, and things of that nature. And that's why, I don't really like to get into stuff like that on social media, because everybody got their own definition and feeling about things. So apparently, I don't know how true this is, Kevin Hart is suing Tasha K for extortion. Now, I don't know if this is extortion. Maybe it's kind of more like blackmail. She said, if she won't put out a certain interview if he give us a certain amount of money. I don't know if that's extortion or blackmail, but them lawyers got a hold of that. Trooper, salute. Jeezy, salute. Them lawyers got a hold of that. And I tell y'all, man, some of y'all be playing around with these celebrities and all that, and y'all feel like, y'all don't got no money anyway, so, it's not even worth trying to take you to court and all that. But it's going to come a time where, people going to start using people as examples. Like the whole Tasha K thing with Cardi B. Cardi B probably knew she didn't have that money, but she wanted to send out an example. She wanted to send out a message, and it didn't work. Because Tasha K doubled down. She's off the chain. And this is why I'm trying to tell y'all, she's a troll. And trolling is addictive. It don't matter how much money you got. She just ruined her whole bank account. Like, she just ruined everything she worked for because she couldn't stop trolling. Now she might even be facing some type of jail time. They put in extortion and all that. All she had to do is sit back and live off the spoils of her, of all the work she did or whatever she was doing. But she can't stop. She can't stop. She did Will Smith dirty. She had old boy on there. Luckily, Will Smith ain't sued. These people got different type of money, and y'all people don't understand. And y'all making it bad for all of us. Because pretty soon, lawyers, even they might not, all these little frivolous lawsuits, it might not be worth it. But pretty soon, they're going to start looking at YouTube itself. They're going to be trying to sue YouTube itself. And then YouTube is going to have to start putting in certain guidelines and all that. That's going to make it more difficult for us. Now, certain things you can say and you can do, if you monetize or whatever, it's helping get you that bag and all that. And the more guidelines they made, the more difficult it is to monetize and, have your content up and get those commercials. It's going to get more and more and more difficult, to the point where only professional channels is going to get any recognition. It's going to get any light. And if your channel ain't, if it don't fit that criteria, you ain't gonna be able to get your money. This is why I tell people, when something is new, get your money. Stop letting people get you off your path and all that, because it's not a lot of times that new things come up where you can capitalize off and change your life. And some of y'all get caught up in what people saying, what people think, people's opinions. Don't forget all that. Because I tell you a secret. While you trying to do what you doing, and everybody's saying, oh, they hating on you and all, when you make it, a lot of them people is going to come support you anyway. Dirty Kenzo, salute. Anybody that ever did anything innovative, new, they got criticized. Nobody believed in them. These are the things you got to go through to be successful. You got to go against the grain. You got to go against the norm. You got to make people uncomfortable. You got to be uncomfortable. But they say if you build it, they will come. So keep building. Don't worry about what they saying. Keep building. But all the slander and all that, I try to have an unbiased opinion about things, and I try not to get into the slander and the conspiracy theories and all of that. You know what I'm saying? I got my theories, on things. But when it comes to like people's lives and people's, personal lives, you can only guess. Nobody really knows what's going on with nobody. Like you, for instance, nobody knows what's really going on in your family. Nobody really knows what's going on in your personal life. They only know what they can get, bits and pieces that they can get, and they put stuff together. So me, coming from the life I lived, right? I learned early that what really happened, what people say happened, what makes the newspaper, what turns into a documentary, and what becomes a movie are all different. Because once you get into the documentary and writing books, you get into the entertainment business. So you have to sell these products. So you have to sell your story. You have to sell your book. So you have to put things in there that's going to sell. And sometimes the truth is not sellable. So you got to spice it up, So me, when it finally get to me, I don't just take it at face value. I know it went through a whole process. But some people hear something and they take it as the fact. This is what it is. This is the fact. They didn't see it for themselves. They didn't do their own research. This is the fact because they heard it from somebody else. Like this person. Who is this person? Is this person credible? So a lot of these gossip blogs and all of that, people are taking gossip and rumors and conspiracy theory. Some people will take that and like it's the facts, it's the truth. They'll fight over it. They'll argue over it. But those are emotional arguments. It's how you feel. You're arguing about how you feel and not the facts. So it's a frivolous argument. There's a bunch of people arguing about how they feel about somebody else, about somebody else's situation. So it's good to do your research and, you know, get facts, because even the facts that you get may not even be the truth. We may never know the truth. We may just know what we hear say, and what's out there. We may never know the truth about certain things. Some people put their whole life into trying to find out the truth about somebody else's life, and it really doesn't matter. Now, you know, if it's something, you know, detrimental to the society, or, you know, government, or something like that, it's different. But if you trying to find out if somebody's gay, or somebody, you know, that's just, because at the end of the day, if you do find out the truth, does it change your life? Does it change anyone's life? Like, does it? What does it do? It's just another story, more content, until the next time something else comes up, and then people are gonna argue and debate over that. But you got to remember, these is people's lives. So when you move on to the next story, they still got to live their life. And our credibility is getting shot. Pretty soon, the news and stories, or, you know, information that comes from us, people is not going to be credible. People are going to be like, oh, that's just them people, you know what they do. And something really important is going to come up. It's like the boy who cried wolf. Because me personally, like I'm not gonna lie, it's sad, right? It's sad that I don't even believe nothing on social media until I see it inside the mainstream news. And I don't even believe the mainstream news, but it's sad. I'm not even, if I don't see it on the mainstream news and it's on social media, I don't believe it. And sometimes the mainstream news get stuff from social media. Sometimes social media will be right. They be knowing the story before the mainstream news, but it's unfortunate. Like, I won't believe it. I won't believe it. It's sad that I have to believe the mainstream news over my own people, or, you know, a social media or internet blog or something like that. It's sad, because we supposed to be the people, the voice of the people. We supposed to be another source, because, you know, mainstream media, they went commercial. They sold out too. They all about the money. It's the same kind of thing on a higher level. So now people on this level doing the same thing for some clicks and views and, you know, some money and all that. They'll make stuff up. They'll do whatever's trending. They'll cover, you know, they don't care about the truth. They're not doing their research. What's the difference? So now mainstream media, what they doing? They coming on here. They taking away your jobs. Mainstream is coming on social media. They taking all of your ideas. They taking all of your intellectual property. They taking your information, and you might be making thousands off of it, but they making millions or even billions. While we down here fighting over crumbs. I remember one time I had broke a story before anybody, and this story, it made the news and everything, right? I got it off of Twitter. It was a little clip on Twitter where some dude, he was at the airport, and he jumped off the top of the rail in the airport and fell down to another level. So I put this up, and within 3 hours, it had like 300K. So I'm like, oh man, I think I'm going viral. So it's going crazy. So then all of a sudden, right under my video, the news was right under my video, covering the same story. Don't you know they took my video down because I didn't put up graphic. This may be graphic material because the dude jumped off the rail. So I didn't put up this may be graphic material. They took down my video in a news story. And that news, whoever that news channel was, they took over my whole. But yeah, I was going viral off that story right there. But I said that to say, when you start going viral and you hitting numbers and all that, you become competition to those people that's higher up, and they play very different. They play different. So I want to see, I would love to see people that I've encountered on here, spoken to and all that, make it in this YouTube. That'll be dope. I don't think I don't know why people I don't hate on things like that, because I've known people in my life, that made it somewhere in the industry or something like that. And that's a good feeling. I don't be hating. It feels good to know these people. Like, I know this person. This person knows me. So now if I need some type of favor, or, I'm trying to, find a way in, I got people that's already in. So I don't understand when you see somebody you may have encountered on this app and they start doing well and they rising up. I don't understand why people hate on them. Especially if y'all supposed to be cool. Now I understand, some people, once they get to a certain point, they leave people behind. They start acting brand new. They act Hollywood. But you can kind of see that from a lower level. You can see when people start changing and things of that nature. But some people never been in these positions, so you got to give them the benefit of the doubt. See, I've been in positions of power. I've been in positions of a follower, a leader, and I don't like. I think I like. I don't like to be a leader. I don't like to lead. Simba, salute. Because you might take all of the glory when you win, but you got to take all of the criticism and all that when you lose. And some people feel like, you're not supposed to do that and all that. But you got to remember, when you're in positions of leadership, when you win, everybody want to win. Everybody, your whole team, people who follow you, they say, we won. But when you lose, they say, you lost. It's your fault. You the leader. But when you win, they say, we won. We did this all together. So I don't like leadership positions, only unless when we win, we won. When we lost, we lost. Then I don't mind being in a leadership position. Or if we win, you know what I'm saying? I get the glory. And if we lose, I get the criticism. I don't have no problem with that. But that's not how it goes. So me, yeah, I don't really like leadership positions. I'm a great follower. So I always inherit leadership positions because I'm a great follower. So I learned the greatest follower makes the best leader. Because what you're following is the code. You're not following the leader. The leader is following the code. You following the leader, but the leader is following the code. When the leader stops following the code, it's no longer a good leader. So I always been like that. I learn the rules of whatever I get involved with. And as long as that leader is following those rules, I'm going to follow that leader. But as soon as that leader stops following those rules, I'm going to stop following the leader, but I'm never going to stop following the rules. But hey, that's just me. And like I said, hopefully, people keep winning on here, getting in these positions of, influence and power. This is good. We need this type of stuff. We need people like, especially genuine people. We need to, support the genuine people. Action bartender, salute, only facts. Because you got to remember, all of these people who we might not like in these positions, we help to put them there. And I'm not saying, I'm talking about collectively. I'm not talking about, individually. We watched them, if we liked it or not. I tell you one thing, in the rap game, they say all publicity is good publicity. The only bad publicity is no publicity. So it don't matter if you like me, you don't like me, as long as you're watching, as long as you know who I am, it doesn't matter. And that's the mentality of a lot of people on here. They take that mentality, but when you try to, you can only get so far with that. When you try to get to those higher levels, you see a lot of people, they talk about, the stuff they're not willing to do to get to certain levels. But some people do these things anyway. But they're not strategic about it. Like, for instance, I always tell a story about this video I seen about a content creator he was making fun and also saying, Hollywood gets, black men to wear dresses. So, he making fun of it. He's saying, oh, yeah, they eyes and black man, they making them wear dresses. But he put on a dress trying to make fun of it. Like, he made like a skit. So in my mind, I'm like, you defeated your whole purpose of what you're trying to, relate to the people. Because at the end of the day, you put on a dress. Now, you might have put on a dress to try to prove your point or make fun of these people, right? But are these people laughing at you? Because I don't know, you monetize, you probably made a couple $1,000s off of that video by putting on that dress. But they got paid millions. And they rich and they famous. And you still put on a dress. So I don't know, man. Listen, Tasha K, salute to Tasha K, man. She gonna keep doing what she doing. But as I said, once you make it to a certain position and you get your money and all of that, you got to protect your brand and your business. And even if doing that stuff made you money, once people start suing you for slander, once you get one lawsuit, that's it. So she should have learned off the Cardi B thing. She couldn't. Matter of fact, when the whole Cardi thing was going on, I think Cardi asked for just an apology or something like that. And she ain't want to apologize, and it cost her $4 million. Trooper, salute. Ming, salute. Now, I don't know if that's worth it, if that would be worth it to y'all and all that. But at the end of the day, if that was me and I'm talking about somebody and they feel some type of way, you talk about their kids or something like that, I was wrong. Listen, I was wrong. I don't care how my fans and the people who's gonna look at me, I don't care if they say, oh, you copped out, or you folded. I folded my money. I folded my $4 million. That's what I folded. And then after she even lost, she still was making she still was throwing little subliminals. You feel me? And then with the Will Smith thing, she lucky they ain't try to sue on that. But now Kevin Hart. I even did a story with the Method Man. She put out the little clip with Method Man making it sound like he said Kanye was doing, homosexual activities at P. Diddy party. So it make me think, is this trolling thing, is it like addictive? Like, is it like, do people do it because they trying to get to the top or make money, or people do it because they just can't help it? This is just how, it's just what they do. They don't know how to do nothing else. But a lot of things going to change once these people start aiming at YouTube. It's going to be more and more difficult, ladies and gentlemen. So is it about the money or is it about the clout? I don't know. Sometimes the lines get blurred. There's a difference between fortune and fame. Now, fame without fortune can be a disaster. But fortune without fame can be paradise. So some people will do anything for clout. We back. Salute to y'all, man. Salute to the live gang, the chat gang, replay gang. Appreciate y'all. Trooper, salute. Jessica, I see you. Pilado, salute. Only facts. The real Ming is in the building. Yeah, man. I appreciate y'all. As always, But yeah, man. Hopefully we can do things a little different. Nothing be the trial but the fail, right? I always say, pause, work hard, play hard. Got to bring balance to the force.